Hey Joe.
What's up?
All right. The agent just called me. I didn't answer because I know what she's gonna say, and I want to maybe if you want to merge on a call, or I don't know if you
Yeah,
whatever.
what's she gonna say?
I don't know about. Did she give any response about the inspection?
I did already.
No, but did she give?
No, she didn't respond to anything back at the building
So
inspection. Call her
that's
back.
so that's what I'm thinking. She's gonna say, "Oh, I don't know," because I have a feeling she's
Aye, no
gonna.
problem. Call her. It's okay. You can tell her, hey, that we're on the call. It's not a problem.
Okay. Just thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
Sure, of course.
Um, Carmen. Oh, strange. Hello, Carmen.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I saw that you called me.
Yes. Can you hear me okay, or are you cutting out? Or am I cutting out?
No, you're good now.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, sometimes my Wi-Fi is very spotty where I'm at.
All good.
Yes. So, thank you so much for sharing the inspection report. I really appreciate that. And after reviewing it with the seller, she's curious about how the 12,500 amount was determined. Do you know?
Wait. Also, I want to disclose. Joe, my partner, is also on the call.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
No problem.
Um.
So, can you please provide a list outlining the specific items of concern and their estimated values?
Sure. Gladly. It's simple. If you want to pop open the inspection, I'll walk you through it.
Sure.
So the unit that's not cooling, the inspector estimated that to cost a couple $1,000s to fix.
Okay.
Potentially replace that. Then exterior wise, just to have somebody come out and fix those types of things. They
What
usually have like a trip fee. So you have the fence, the latch that's not working properly.
What latch?
So if you look inside the gate and the minor concerns that he has on the first page over there, that's misaligned in order to secure it properly, for the buyer. And then with regards to the outdoor, that latch being repaired, the sliding door on the outside.
That was addressed today. It's a Hurricane 18, or I believe 2019.
Yeah, but it wasn't supposed to be like this. Like I asked the inspector, so there is supposed.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like the fact that you have to push it hard. It means that something.
Because it's a heavy door. It's a hurricane door.
I
so
know,
you do
I
have
understand,
to
but I've
in order
seen.
to latch it.
I understand, but I've went.
Again, I understand that, but that's not normal.
Yeah, it's not
and
proper.
then in addition to that, there's risk of mold that was also noticed inside the air handler. Which just even reaching out to a basic mold mitigation specialist, they're running us between $5,000 and $8,000 for a total home disinfecting treatment, because if it's in the air handler, then chances are that it's also in the vents, and chances are that it's all throughout the rest of the house.
That's interesting. She's never had that. In the AC, all of the unit was in 2021. So just to address the AC concerns.
Mold has nothing to do with the age of the AC. Mold has to do with the condition of the property.
Well, it all got changed. So I'm just,
mold
thinking
is
out
something
loud
that
mostly, because the
mold
whole
is
unit
an organism.
Carmen, I used to work. Carmen, I
I'm just
used
trying
to.
to tell you.
Wait,
in
Carmen.
2021, it got replaced.
Wait,
and that's
Carmen.
just, I'm thinking out loud and letting you know that.
But Carmen,
if that's a concern.
I'm sorry that I'm cutting you off, Carmen, but
Sure.
one thing I would like to mention is that I used to work for an AC company in the past. Like that was my job. And one
Sure.
thing that is very important, that it doesn't matter if it's an old unit or new unit, is the way that they install the unit. A lot of the times they bring people who are not really, even if they have the license, they're not really that qualified, and they install the units in a way that they're still leaking and there's still issues, and sometimes it even ruins the whole unit. So there's a huge risk with that.
Of course, but
That's
that's an
why the age
assumption,
of the
right?
unit,
When she hired someone, it's in the
100%
contract that she's
understand, but
hiring
a lot of the
professionals. That's
times,
just an outside
I know, but a lot
opinion
of the time,
from
because
you.
I've been in the
So,
business.
I just wanted to address the whole AC issue. In order for the permit to be closed, it needs to be inspected. And that's, she's got someone coming in either on Tuesday or Wednesday that's coming to inspect the whole entire unit, because they cannot close it if it's not in working manner. So that would knock off $2,000 of the AC problem that you're talking about.
Okay, well, I mean, again, if we can close it and we can confirm that it's working and everything is good, then really at the end of the day, that's the biggest concern. The second biggest concern is the mold issue. There is going to be a mold mitigation treatment that is going to happen. It really has nothing to do with the age of the AC. Sure, the mold mitigation really has nothing to do with the age of the AC. It has to do with the condition of the property. And it's not really something
do you want it for mold? She can do a mold test just to verify.
The buyer would like to have a credit in order for them to be able to disinfect the house with a mold treatment, given the fact that
But it's not determined if it's mold or not. This is just possible mold. So how do we know that it's mold if it's not been tested? How do we resolve this? I want to meet you in the middle. I'm here to work with you.
So we've already had like the kind of the back and the forth with the buyer. They're concerned about the fact that there could be the mold. We can do one of two things. We can extend the inspection period through Wednesday or Thursday of next week to allow for a qualified inspector to go out. We can have the seller cover the cost of the mold inspection, so like that we can have that fall off, and then we can get those results. That might be helpful, and that might make the buyer a little bit calmer. And then, if we can get that taken care of, and then we can disprove that it isn't mold, and then I think that definitely would be a good start.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I'm here to help your buyer and you guys, right? I'm also here to help my seller to close this deal. So I will talk to the seller in order to see if she can get someone to see if there's mold, to confirm if it's mold or not.
I would prefer if we would go back to the same home inspection company that we used that already pulled up the, what's it called? He runs mold tests. Or we can go to like a company over here that's neither here nor there when it comes to relationships and stuff, just so like that the buyer can be comfortable with that. Just so that we can find somebody that would be good with that can go and can do an inspection. We have I actually took the liberty of making some calls for them already, so I'm happy to share those contacts with you. You can set that up, or we can set that up either way.
But if my seller is paying for it, why can't she choose her own mold inspector?
I mean, I guess if we can go to the buyer and tell them that the seller will pay for it and just get them for it and get them to agree. Again, look, at the end of the day, the point over here isn't to go back and forth. The point over here is to get a deal closed. So if we can have them agree to that, then what we can do is, if you wouldn't mind just originating an extension addendum and have her sign it and just say that the inspection period will get extended. I realistically, think at least 48 hours, just for the results to come back, because they take the samples and then they send them to a lab. So it can usually take up to 48 hours. And Monday is a holiday, so I would put them at least until Wednesday, and then we can go back to our buyer, tell them that as sort of like this meet you in the middle. We're waiting for the inspector to come out to inspect the AC to ensure that the permit can be closed, which is a good sign. And then we're also going to try to have the seller cover for a mold report. If we get a copy of that mold report and everything comes back Wednesday, then there is a big chance that I can probably get them to be happy with that, and then we can continue moving forward with the process.
Sounds good. And my other question is, remember that I'm going back to negotiate this with my seller, right? Sure. If she's like, no, like, I just want to, this is an as-is, whatever. What is your buyer's bottom number so that I can give it to her?
Meet us in the middle.
Middle, so in the middle, what, 6?
7. I'm not trying to, we're not trying to shake anybody down, you know what I mean? Like, we're really just trying
I totally agree. No, and I sense that.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, if you can tell her and say, look, like, if you don't want to have to go through this back and forth, it's $7,000 off. I will go back to my buyer and say, listen, like, just take it and be happy with it and move on.
Can you ask for 6.5?
I'll tell you what. Mm-hmm. Let's get us something in writing from the seller, and I'll do the best I can to get him to agree to it. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Let me start negotiating with my seller then, and I'll call you back.
I'm gonna give you a heads up. Shell and I are both gonna go offline at about 7:30 for the Sabbath, but we'll be back online tomorrow night. So if we're able to get something done before then, fantastic. And if not, you can email us back whenever, and we'll pick it up tomorrow. Okay.
What time?
Sorry? About 7:30.
Okay, I'll remember it right now.
No pressure.
Please send you the extension.
All right, cool.
Thank you, Carmen. Appreciate it.
Oh.
Thanks.
Okay, no problem. Bye.
Have a good day.
He hopped off. Good. Hello.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure they're gonna go for the credit. Like, It sounded like they're gonna go for the credit.
Yeah.
Because between you and me, the whole mold thing is bullshit. You and I both know that.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, at the end of the day, you go back to him and you say, look, like, they wanted to meet us at 6. We got them up to 7. That's what she's going for. That's what everybody wants. And then we can just move on. Either way, I think we got him nice with the fact that there's an extension now. Because now it's basically, listen, either you agree to this or we're going to be up in the air again for another week. And I know for a fact that the seller does not want to be up in the air again. Just by reading her personality, there's a reason why her husband made all of her decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So, not to sound like disrespectful to her, frankly, I don't give a fuck. But, like, the point is that,
no, but you're right. Like, that's the personality.
This is the type of lady that she is. So because of that, it's like, okay, you know what? I'm pretty sure that if she has to make a choice between sit and worry for another week or get this inspection done, I'm pretty confident that she'll just, get the credit done, and you can go back to your buyer and we'll be able to tell your buyer, look, like, they wanted to extend for another week and they wanted to play around and they wanted to make a bunch of games, but we didn't let that happen. And then, you just flip it back to make it sound good for us.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And I met the guy today. I understand exactly why he's one of those guys. He fits the perfect personality type. Like, like outside he's a fucking mamzer, but inside, like, he's the perfect, most amazing person. You know what I mean? Not to speak like disrespectful to anybody, but like he'll get out there and just bite people when he needs to. But like kavod Torah, kavod Elohim, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I can understand where all of his mishigas is coming from. But he seems like he kind of came around. It's, he seems like he understands what's going on. And like usually these types of buyers, if they're very jittery, then during like the appraisals, every time we meet, there's always like something going on, But over here, I think it was kind of chill. I think it was because we pulled up like a crew.
Yes.
So there was kind of like, there's like this
whole ambush.
The appraiser mentioned it. It's like 3 of us. We kind of just rolled up and we're like, hi. There's like nobody had any idea what was going on. We just rocked up. But yeah, we're gonna get the 500 on the appraisal. I'm really not worried about it. I spoke to the appraiser. He basically showed me his comparables. Like, I don't know if you realized what he was showing me, but he had already done his work for the comparables. He didn't even look at my papers. But because of the fact that we just gave them to him, he like already felt that he knew it. He goes, because he did show me. He showed me a 440. He showed me a 480. He showed me a 620. And I was like, bro, how we looking? He goes, yeah, we're good. So that's a good thing. From an agent side, that's a good thing to know. Like that, we know that, that the buyer's not going anywhere. So that's a good thing with that. And now it's just a matter of getting these people to have their shit together.
Yeah, the funny thing is that my buyer literally texted me and said, "Oh, I sat for like half an hour with the seller. We really bonded, and she seems really nice." And in my mind, I'm like, "Okay, that's great." I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know what to say. He's like a really nice lady, and you had to see like when he left, he literally hugged her and kissed her on the cheek. I was like, "Wow, okay, that's a lot. That's interesting." And what I want to say is that his sister is visiting actually next week on Monday and Tuesday. So he wanted me to ask her if it is possible to see the house. I told him I don't want to bring it up right now because I want with the inspection, I want them to be in a position that they're kind of afraid. Because if I'm gonna say right now, oh, he wants to bring his sister, it means he's kind of excited. So, oh yeah, we don't have to, I mean, negotiate. I know they're set on the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. We'll talk about it next week. We'll do it kind of last minute, and you have to tell him that either it will work or it won't work. But either way, he's gonna own the house in 2 weeks. You can come back.
Baruch Hashem. Okay. I don't know if it's
And that's it.
Yeah. Was it okay what I told her about the AC and everything?
Yeah, listen, if we're negotiating, like the second, like she realized what she said when she said it, because then she came back and said, "Oh, I just want to help you guys," because she was like, "Don't talk over me," and then you were like, "I'm gonna talk over you," and I was like, perfect. Like, I'm sorry to cut you off. Is like, fuck you, I'm talking anyways, and it's good. Like, at the end of the day, she didn't even show up to the appraisal. Okay,
Right.
so like the fact that she didn't show up to the appraisal already tells me everything I need to know, which is she's not interested. She's literally not interested. She doesn't want to have to deal with the back and the forth. So yeah, asking for 12.5 was a good idea, because now we'll get back 7 or whatever. And that's it. You can go back to your buyer and you can tell him, never in the history of your career have you been able to go to a house that literally had no issues with the inspection, had no issues with the appraisal, and still negotiate $7,000 credit.
This sounds hilarious. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's supposed to be funny. That's the whole point. The whole point is that like, you're able to go back. First of all, it's funny because it's never in your career. It's actually true. And second of all, it's like the guy, like, you're telling him, and you're saying, listen, English, and it's $7,000. Like, it's not a lot of money, but $7,000 is the cost of a move.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So you basically just had his entire moving cost covered.
Beautiful.
So he should be happy and he should be grateful. And if he's not, he's a piece of shit. But he's fine. I promise you, the second the closing documents are signed, everybody's going to be best friends. Okay?
Yeah,
it's just a matter of time.
Amen.
No, it always works like that. So there's really nothing to worry about. And we're 3 weeks away. So it's just a matter of getting this wrapped up. I'm pretty confident she's definitely going to come back with an extension. And if she doesn't come back with an extension, then she's just going to come back with the addendum crossed out to whatever dollar amount. We'll send it to them and call it a day.
Yes. Just a sec. Tony!
Right, cool.
Wait, just a sec. Tony! Sorry, my brother is here.
Anything else?
Now that I'm thinking of, no, I think we're good right now. I sent you the wire, also the screenshot, just in case. He wired today of $15,000, the second deposit, so we're good with that. The title, when we will do the title search, so I can tell him.
The title search, it's going to come back. It should be back in a day or two, but it's going to be back next week.
Okay. This is, I remember once asked you, like, he sent me a question. Her husband's name is, like, all over, but this comes up in the title search, right? If they had, like, everything is okay with it. And if
she's able to sign for her husband.
Oh, okay. So the title is supposed to show up clean and everything.
So the title, it's not about the name. It's about making sure, like for instance, there's a permit that came up. There's a permit issue that came up. They already did the search. That's what Carmen was talking about. When it comes to, she said that there's another inspector coming to close out the AC. That's what she meant. That someone has to come because there's an open permit right now for the AC. It was never closed. So in order for it to be closed, and that's what you're going to tell Roy. You're going to tell him that they have to hire an inspector anyways, because the the title is still showing that there's an open permit. So that's how we know that the AC is properly working. Because if it's not properly working, then they wouldn't close out the permit.
Okay.
So you're going to tell you. So you go back to them and you say, look, I spoke to them, and we're trying to figure out the dollar amount because they hired somebody to come and fix the AC to make sure that it's working. So we can have a working AC, and he'll get a $7,000 credit or a $5. You know what? Don't call him yet. Just wait.
Yeah, let's
Wait
do
for
it.
her to get.
Yeah, let's do it on Motzei Shabbat or Sunday, not now.
Yeah, no rush, whatever you want.
Yeah, I already closed it as Shabbat Shalom with him and everything. I don't want to open it.
All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Don't go back to him.
Okay, yeah.
There's no need.
Amazing.
So long as he's not tripping, you're fine.
I want a restful Shabbat this time.
There you go. I'm telling you. Listen, I'm going to tell you this now. I'm going to tell you this as many times as I have to tell you this. 80% of the stress that happens in this business is in your head.
Okay.
Like, yeah, 100%. Like, I'm telling you that right now. 80%. And as you get into bigger contracts, you realize the same thing. I'm a little spoiled and I'm a little desensitized from the whole game. Mm-hmm. But, like, I realized today, just talking to everybody, I was talking about a $13 million contract. I got everybody's attention. You know?
Bigger numbers.
So, like, no, but I wasn't trying to say it in a way of, like, bragging. I was just trying to say, hey, guys, like, this is what I'm doing. And then because I had everybody's attention and everybody was, like, really, really, really focused, nobody understood what I was saying in the beginning.
Yeah, it took a moment. No, but they really paid attention, though. It was really good today. Honestly, like, today's training was really good because you...
Well, because why?
Because you really broke it down, the numbers and everything.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this: the what's it called? This is why I'm happy to have the office, because this is the level of depth that we can achieve in-person trainings. It's just stronger. It's better. It's a much more solid, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. And do you want to do it next week? No, next week you're in Texas, right?
Next week I'm in Texas, but the following week we're definitely going. I mean, listen, we're going to do it. There is going to be an in-person training, but it's just not going to be in Florida. It's going to be in Texas. Mm-hmm. It's the same idea. But yeah, 100%. I mean, there's a lot more power in doing something in person. I love the idea of doing something in person, and that's the angle that we're going to push for.
I love it. So what you can tell Alexis also is to film those things and create reel, like every week of weekly trainings, so and then you can send a message.
We filmed a little bit, actually. Mm-hmm. We filmed a decent amount. There's a 25-minute video, and there's a 5-minute video. So I'm going to go through it. I'm going to find a couple little different things, but it's more about the angle. Also, Alexis wasn't 100% focused today because she's not feeling well.
I know. I spoke to her. I hope she's going to feel better.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, she had like
I told her if she needs me to stage her apartment for her, I'll stage her apartment. Yeah,
no, I think she also had a little bit of fever. Like, I spoke to her afterwards, and yeah. So she wasn't 100%.
Yeah, hopefully she'll feel better because we're traveling. Yeah. And everything will be fine.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to wish you Shabbat Shalom. And
thanks.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Anything you need, call me.
Alrighty. Thank you, Joe.
Talk to you. Bye.
Bye-bye.